It started in the kind of neighborhood where everything looked perfect. Trimmed lawns, white fences, and neighbors who smiled on the outside but judged you from behind their curtains. The kind of place where peace comes with a price tag and a rule book longer than your mortgage agreement. I moved there hoping for quiet, just a small slice of calm after years of city chaos. Then came her, Karen, the unofficial queen of the cul-de-sac and the self-appointed voice of the HOA. She had a Tesla that glimmered like it owned a road, and a personality that screamed the same. From the start, she treated everyone like background characters in her perfect little movie. At first, I ignored the small things, a trash can slightly moved, a smug wave when she parked too close to my driveway. But then my outdoor lights began flickering. My power bill started climbing higher than usual. I brushed it off, thinking it was just faulty wiring. Still, something didn't feel right. You ever get that gut feeling that someone's quietly taking advantage of you? That was me. And soon I'd find out just how far Karen was willing to go, and how far I'd have to go to stop her. It was a Tuesday night when I finally caught her. I had stepped outside to grab a package when I saw a faint blue glow from the side of my garage. I peeked around the corner, and there she was. Karen, in her silk robe, quietly plugging her Tesla charger into my outdoor outlet like it was her personal gas station. I froze. She didn't even look guilty. Just stood there scrolling her phone while the cable hummed with my electricity. "Excuse me," I said. "What do you think you're doing?" She glanced up, smiled that fake HOA smile, and said, "Oh, it's just a quick charge. I'll only be a few minutes." I told her she couldn't just take power from my home, but she shrugged and said, "We're neighbors. It's not a big deal." Then she just walked back to her car. That's when I realized this wasn't a one-time thing. She'd been doing it for weeks, maybe longer. My security camera logs matched the late-night spikes in power use. Every night around midnight, she'd plug in. I wasn't just paying for her electricity. I was paying for her arrogance. The next morning, I filed a complaint with the HOA. I was calm, factual, and even included photo evidence from my security camera. I figured that would be enough. After all, isn't that what the HOA is for? Apparently not. A week went by before I got a response, a bland email saying, "We'll look into the matter to maintain community harmony." Harmony? I was being robbed, and they were worried about vibes. Meanwhile, Karen strutted around like she owned the neighborhood. I'd see her smirking at HOA meetings, pretending she didn't hear me. I learned quickly that she was on the HOA board herself, which explained the silence. When I pressed again for updates, they told me to resolve it privately. In other words, don't bother us. That's when I realized, if I wanted fairness, I'd have to handle it myself. The power theft was one thing, but the hypocrisy, that's what lit the fire in me. She believed the rules were made for everyone but her. And if it wouldn't stop her, I would. I started small. I padlocked the outlet cover. The next morning, the lock was gone, neatly clipped off. I installed a motion sensor light. She unscrewed the bulb. I even left a note politely asking her to stop. She replied with a sticky note on my car. "Don't be petty. It's just electricity." Her smugness was unbearable. I went to a few neighbors for support, but everyone was too scared to speak up. Karen had influence. She got people fined for having garden gnomes or leaving trash cans out too long. Nobody wanted to cross her. Then she started posting on the neighborhood Facebook group about me, claiming I was creating tension and harassing HOA members. The audacity was unbelievable. It was no longer just about electricity. It was about respect and reclaiming what was mine. So I stopped reacting. I stopped warning her. Instead, I started planning. If the system wouldn't hold her accountable, maybe a little technology would. And this time, I wasn't leaving anything to chance. I spent the next few days researching, reading electrical forums, smart home setups, and legal deterrents. I didn't want to do anything dangerous or illegal. I wanted something clever, something that made a point without crossing a line. That's when I found it, a tamper-detecting smart outlet with a built-in monitoring chip. It could track energy use, send alerts, and log exactly when someone plugged in. I paired it with a hidden camera under my porch light, aimed right at the outlet. Then I waited. The next evening, I left the charger visible, dangling like bait. The outlet was live but routed through the monitoring device, every watt recorded. I went to bed and let the plan run itself. At 12:14 a.m., my phone buzzed. Power usage detected. I watched live footage as Karen casually plugged in again, glancing around before walking off like she owned the place. Perfect. By sunrise, I had video proof, power logs, timestamps, and her face on camera. I didn't just have a hunch anymore. I had a case. And I was ready to make her face the consequences. That morning, I sent everything, the footage, data logs, and photos, to the entire HOA board and my local neighborhood chat. I didn't say much, just one line: if community harmony means theft is allowed, maybe we should redefine harmony. The reaction was instant. People who once ignored me flooded the thread. Neighbors were furious, not at me, but at her. The same woman who'd fined others for mailbox paint was exposed as a thief. Karen tried to deny it, of course, claimed I invaded her privacy. But the footage didn't lie. You could see her face clearly, plugging in, unplugging, night after night. A few days later, karma added her own twist. Word spread that Karen's Tesla had suffered a major battery fault during a charge, thousands in damage. The official cause? Repeated irregular charging from unstable outlets. I didn't gloat. I didn't need to. The neighborhood saw everything. For once, the self-proclaimed HOA queen had to face rules she couldn't rewrite. The HOA finally stepped in, not to protect her, but to save face. They fined Karen for property misuse, ordered her to reimburse my electric bills, and removed her from the HOA board. She tried to act unbothered, but everyone saw the shift. The smirk disappeared. The Tesla stayed parked in her driveway, uncharged. Neighbors began talking to me again, the same ones who once avoided eye contact. They apologized, said they were tired of her control too. And me? I didn't celebrate. I just felt peace. For the first time in months, the air in our perfect little neighborhood actually felt calm. Sometimes justice doesn't need anger, just patience, proof, and timing. Karen taught me something unexpected. Power isn't just about electricity, it's about control. And when you let someone take what's yours, they'll keep taking until you stand up. I didn't hurt her. I didn't break laws. I simply showed her reflection in the light she'd been stealing. She tried to take my power, but in the end, I took it back in every way that mattered. If you've ever dealt with a Karen, an HOA nightmare, or just someone who thinks they're untouchable, remember, evidence speaks louder than ego.